Hey everybody, welcome back to Gun Totin' Minnesotan. My name is Andrew and today I'm going to be talking you through these optics I have here. I'll roll in a little bit of B-roll. I know with sales coming up and special holiday events coming up on a Friday and a Monday, I know that these optics are going to get a lot of traction. People are going to be looking at them and searching to find out what's the best for them and their applications. So what I'm going to try to do is I'll try to keep this down to a 10-minute video or so. It's gonna be hard because I could probably talk about it for hours with application, but I'm gonna do my best to just talk about what I think each optic does well and what an intended application could be. I'm gonna start off with the 4-20. I think the 4-20 deserves more love, and if you can find one somewhere or they do a production run of these, they're very, very worthwhile. I'm gonna be looking at everything at about 700 yards today. I have just a tad bit more distance than that, but I have something to look at 700 yards. And I'm kind of comparing all these. I've done this several times before, but for fun, I want to take them back out today. It's just a nice visual day. Even lighting, a little bit overcast, just a little bit, but it gives me a chance to check out these lenses. So the 4-20, I find is really good for folks who want to do center fire or rim fire or PCP air gun work. I've tested these on even brake barrels and they absolutely can last. They're gonna withstand the spring tension, slapping forward with reverse recoil. That's been my experience with them. I've run these out pretty far. I think I maybe did 2 years ago or last year, I did like 1,200 yards with one of these, and it's a slightly larger objective. It's not quite a 56, but it's a little bit larger objective. Lets in plenty of light. It's not quite as big or heavy as, say, like the 6-36, and power factor is lower. I find resolution on this is nicer. The eye box is reasonable and the reticle is great. Illumination on all of them is going to be like generally functional. I wouldn't say any of them are standout daylight bright, and most of us don't need that actually when it comes to high power magnification optics. But all the dials, all the knobs, the parallax all seem to function pretty smooth. And having so much internal elevation allows it to be in any of the camps. Like again, springers, which this would probably be a good one for me to throw on my new Springer, or PCPs, rimfire. If you're getting into NRL 22, this is something that has a 34mm tube, lots of internal elevation, and you can see those numbers. That's kind of a distinctive of a lot of the ED line from Discovery, as well as some of the HD line. The numbers are large print, so it's easy to see. And I know a number of people have told me they got Discovery optics just because they liked the increased size and it helped them to see, along with the fact that it had decent glass and features combined with that. Easy to reset. You're gonna get your 0 stop and 0 set or reset with this. Just a thumb disc on top, basically, like not a thumb disc, but you could put a coin in there and turn it, and then you can reset your 0 that way, and then you have a 0 stop underneath, which requires Allen's. But this model, I don't see a huge amount online about it. I love it. I think it's a fantastic optic, a little bit smaller than the other ones, and resolution is still really good. So if you find a 4-20, I can get behind it. The next one is the one that actually most people are interested in. By far and large, folks who are looking for a budget optic setup will ask me about the 5-30. And the 5-30 I have a lot of experience on, and this is the Gen 2. So it takes everything from the Gen 1 and it kind of improves things a little bit in my opinion. I'll start off by talking about the reticle. The reticle is one of my favorite Discovery reticles. It's a larger size center dot. You got great wind leads, and you do have a 10th mil breakup all the way down between the 9th mil and the 10th mil. So this allows you to do some milling, measurements for corrections, and I'm still old school enough where I do stuff like that from time to time. I will actually go down, I'll measure my mil offset or whatever my error was and make a correction based off of those 10th mil increments if I have the time. In hunting, it's not going to mess you up because those 10th mil increments are down at the bottom of the reticle, not at the top, not close to the center dot. A nice airy reticle, but it still has good clean lines, a decent eye box, and I think as far as power goes, I don't really shoot this one past 18 to 20 power very much. I certainly can, and I've shot it all the way up to 30 on air guns, but you're going to diminish your image a little bit. It's an HD versus ED. So your lenses are not the same. in the HD, and the price reflects that. This is a really affordable optic. Like, it's shocking how many features and how good the reticle is, and even the body type design, how good the design is for the price point. It's super affordable. So if features are something that you need and you want that zero stop or zero reset, you want a pretty large amount of internal elevation with reliable turrets, and a 56mm objective to collect more light or maybe to help balance your rifle, because it is a big heavy optic, this one's not bad. Because it has a little bit shorter of like an eyepiece and this part behind the turret, it actually sets up really nice for PCPs and air guns as well. I think it's a little bit more convenient for stocks with a shorter length of pull because of that. But then it's at home on, say, like the Savage 110 EP that I reviewed it on. Yep, the image is just going to be a little bit more dull, not quite as sharp as your ED series, and that's just inherent to the actual glass and the design, how they've put together the optic. But I've been really comfortable with this one, shooting it on even low power. I find that the lower power is way more doable because it has a thicker subtension line and subtension dots. Illumination is decent on this. I wouldn't say any of these are really bright, but it's decent. And I am actually running a Discovery bubble level on this one. If you haven't checked out Discovery bubble levels, they sell this one, and it's got an adapter in it, so you can have a 1-inch, 30mm, and I think a 34mm. Yeah, all with just one. So if you're switching things around and you don't want to have 3 bubble levels, you can buy one, and then it'll fit on any optic that you pretty much have, unless it's a 35mm. So it's a good optic, really great price point, nice features with it, and I would put this on like a budget center fire target shooting gun. Maybe a varmint gun. I think a varmint gun would be a really nice application because you can have a heavy varmint gun, and that's okay. Maybe a competition, like a base class NRL-22, absolutely. This has the features, it has the glass quality for the distances you're gonna shoot in NRL-22, and then it also does seem to track reliably, which is just a huge sticking point with that. Parallax on this one seems to function pretty smooth. Dials, knobs, everything is great on that. So that would be my opinion of this one, is it's a budget option. It's not gonna have the same image quality, but it's still very usable. And if you can deal with an HD image and that's not gonna distract you, then you should go with it, because you could save a lot of money and spend that on ammo instead. Moving from there, I've got the 6-36. Now the 6-36 is a little bit different of a design than the 5-25 is. It's not exactly the same scope. This one parallaxes down to 40 yards, so that's gonna give some limitations for people who need to shoot extremely close and on high power. And you need to think about that. If you don't need high power, you don't need this scope. You can look at some of the other ED models. If you do need high power, but you need it close, I would go again with the 5-25, maybe the 4-20, or even some of the other options that they have. Honestly, this guy goes down to 10 yards, doesn't it? No, it's 50 yards. No, I'm wrong. It goes to 25 yards. Okay, the HD goes down to 25 yards, as does the 5-25. This one goes down to 40 yards. So I'm just saying, for parallax, air, and clarity, that might be something to consider. Low power, 6 power, it's gonna be really hard to see the optic, but it's gonna increase your field of view. It's got a nice bright image. Overall, glass quality is decent, and zero stop is just a thumb disk on this one. So I can actually reset the zero on the turret cap, and that's all I'm talking about. That's the zero stop, but I can reset the zero on the turret cap by just lifting and moving it over and then dropping this back in. I think that's really cool, and I've highly suggested to Discovery to keep that up, because I love not having a tool with me and quickly resetting turrets. The 6-36, I've run out past a mile, as I have with the 5-25. And I found that these did really well. In fact, I needed this scope because it has a lot of internal elevation, and I needed the holdover in the reticle subtensions to get past a mile with a few different loads that I was using. I've been pretty happy with it. I have done some competitions with it, and I would say if you're a centerfire enthusiast, varmint, centerfire, long range shooter, this is absolutely something that you could use and be pretty competent with at a mile. And the glass quality is decent. I think it's a little step above the 5-25 in my opinion. It's just a little step above, but I don't push it up past, let's say 28 power very often, just rarely. And that's more so on like high-powered air guns at distance. So when it comes to center fire, when I shoot comps with this, it's gonna stay pretty low, 18 to 20 power if I'm shooting like a Know Your Limits rack, and then if I'm shooting something that's like larger, maybe a 2/3 size IPSC at, let's say, 600 yards, then I'm gonna run it on 10 to 12 power. It's just fine. Nice big field of view, really high quality optic, and actually a pretty good deal. This one probably deserves more love than it gets. Slightly lightly shaded reticle. Head position matters a little bit on that one. It's true of a lot of optics, but I just noticed it with that one. This is the flagship. This is the 5 to 25. This is the one I most have recommended my entire time working with Discovery Optics and trying them out and finding out what they're designing. This 5 to 25 was actually, if I remember right, the Gen 1 was my first optic, and I was impressed at how well they took feedback. And this is the Gen 2 ED-PRS 5 to 25. So with this one, really nice image. I think on lower powers, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a difference between the 636 and 525. The 525 is gonna look really good, even though the 636 has 35 millimeter tube and rings. This is the 34 millimeter, but it's really bright. It's got a great reticle, you know, essentially the same reticle as the 6 to 36. You're not gonna get the 10th mil breakups that you get on the HD series in this reticle. It's a different reticle. So smaller size center dot. I think I wanna say it's a 0.04 size reticle center dot. So subtensions are just a little thinner. On lower power, that might come up as something that matters, but I can see it pretty nicely at 700 yards, even on 5 power. Not bad. And moving up to, let's go to 19 power. Work that parallax a little bit. Head position doesn't seem to matter quite as much with this guy. And clarity is really good. Colors are really good for a budget scope, especially. ED lenses, it does have those ED lenses, and you also have a pretty simple, just slotted screw on top with a zero stop underneath. You get your features, you get side illumination, runs on 2032 batteries, as do all the rest of them that I've shown so far. And a really reasonable parallax size, so you can get a hold of it and crank on it. This one I'm also gonna say center fire guys, rim fire guys, and air gun guys. It'll qualify for all of them. I did a drop test with this one. I abused the crap out of this on a 308, like actually threw the rifle down, dropped it, I think from like chest height or something like that, multiple times, and then did a Springer test with it, and it survived, held 0, and it still tracks great. Fun fact, my best PRS score to date is when my main rifle went down. I grabbed my backup rifle, which had this 5 to 25 on it. This was my highest PRS score to date, was with this one right here, and that's why I keep this one even though it's beat up. And finally, the last and really brief video, an optic which has a place in the air gun market especially. This is the ED AR, and some people have used them on ARs. I know Alaskan Ballistics recently had a video talking about that. Go ahead and check out his channel and watch his stuff. I think it's a great channel. Love the hunting content and ballistic content that he brings, lots of knowledge. This has side illumination, but the feature that I think is most important is it has side parallax, and the parallax goes down to 5 yards. Some people see that as a tactical application. Some people see that for airsoft or air guns or hunting. I mostly look at it as a hunting application, so I can take really close shots. This one, even though it's a 1 to 8, I tend not to shoot it above 5 power, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Gen 2 of this in the next 2 years. But I think you might see some really good deals on these. If there's any left on the internet, they're gonna be super affordable. And that would be a time to scoop one up and throw it on a rifle. Like I said, I don't shoot above 5 power typically. Lift to operate turrets, no zero stop, but they are lift to operate, and they do dial reliably, actually. I'm surprised at how well they do. I have dialed out to 830 with these for sure. Actually, I took a 300 blackout to 1,030 yards with this one, but I have shot it repeatedly at 830 with a blackout, and there's a huge amount of internal elevation, 34 millimeter tube, and then you get these other features. And so again, air gun guys, rim fire guys, certainly some center fire application makes a lot of sense. And for me, more like a hunting idea. Right now it's set up for a PCP that I've been messing around with. So that's what I had for you today, guys. I just wanted to let you know about that. And here's what I'm gonna try to offer. If you are shopping online right now and you have questions about these optics, what I'm gonna try to do over the next week and a half is be available in the comments quickly. So if you drop a comment and you're like trying to make a decision whether you want to get one of these, check out my comments, use my links. Yes, absolutely, I get a kickback on that, but I'm not selling you any particular optic here. And if you don't want them, then you don't want them, whatever. But if you want to get one of these, but you have specific questions, I want to be useful and helpful to you. So drop a comment down below and I'm going to get back to you as fast as I can, maybe within minutes. It's not uncommon for me to get back to people within minutes from a fresh video. And so you can make an informed decision and get the optic that's best for you. I don't want you to go get a 6 to 36 when what you really need is the budget 5 to 30, or maybe you just need the 1 to 8. There's also a 2 to 12 airgun optic that I've reviewed that's not on the table right now. They do have MOA models. If you're an MOA shooter, I'm going to ask you some of those questions. And I want to make sure to get you to an optic that's the most modern optic, the best quality optic that you can afford. And if you're in the Discovery, price point, and you're looking at that budget, you're looking at these specific models, I would be happy to help you guys find something that makes you happy and suits your rifle well, your shooting, your hunting, competition, whatever it is. Thank you for watching. If this video isn't exactly what you needed, or you want to watch some of the reviews of these optics, I'm going to go ahead and post them right here.